but that is too much for me.
Yeah.
I see Nina hopping on. I'm so happy to see your faces. I feel like it's been a while. And I'm drinking tea, and I hate tea. Like,
I hate tea too.
ugh.
Sometimes you just have to.
I know, but I'm cold. I'm just cold, and I'm like, it's just, I can't drink a bunch of coffee right now. So, all right, Nina, girl, you might need to hit your video, unless you don't want to be seen.
I have my Babes Unite shirt on.
I love it.
Reunite.
Nice.
That's awesome. Did you have that made?
No.
No.
Target.
Of course. Target's the best for everything.
It is.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. I know Liza had said that she can't hop on because they're with her sick husband. So I promised I would record it, so I do have it recording for anybody who can't be on tonight. But is Sunday's going to work better for you guys?
Works better for
Yes.
me.
Okay, cool. Yay! So welcome to our first Sunday. I'm kind of excited. And it's also like the big football games, which I know my husband's like freaking out because his team is in it. All right, so for those of you who don't know, who might be watching it later, I'm Lindsay. I always feel so weird like introducing myself, but you know. And this is Fearless. This is us. So we wanted to chat. Well, first I want to go over the Success Club for this month so far. And now I can't see you guys. You guys have disappeared. I'm sorry. Can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So with Success Club 2, we have Allison Cross. We have myself. I'm still scrolling. We have Liza Polster, Cassandra Ortner. I think that might be her first Success Club points. And then Kate Baker is leading the pack with Success Club 4. Did you ever figure out where those last two came from?
No, I don't know. I only sold one challenge pack.
Well, somebody must have purchased something from you. Did anybody get Just Shakeology?
I did it under my husband, so would that be it?
When did you yes, possibly. No, because he's a coach, right?
Yeah.
Was that his first time?
It was his first Shakeology.
Okay, and that's why. That's where your other two came from. You won't get any more points from him. But yes, that's where they came from. So that's great. So you just need one more person. And then we still have what? 10 days? 10 days left of the month? Which, how is that already possible? It's like blowing my mind that we're already through January almost. So we have 11 days left of this month. So we have plenty of time if we just put our heads down and start talking to people. All right, so do you guys have any questions before we start about anything at all?
I'm just feeling a little overwhelmed.
Okay, don't feel overwhelmed. I mean, I shouldn't say don't feel overwhelmed. It can be overwhelming.
No, can I admit something though?
Yes,
I did my first PB&J invites this weekend, like my first ever.
That's awesome.
Anxiety over it. So I'm having a few conversations, but that's like gotten a few no's. But that was my personal obstacle that I overcame. I kind of didn't care what anyone said. I just had to do it for myself. So.
Yeah. And the response was good? The response was good?
No, like mixed. I'd say in thirds. A third haven't answered. A third are like, maybe. And a third is like, it's not the right time for me.
Okay. But still, they answered you. And that's a good thing, instead of ignoring you. So how did you go about it? Did you just do the right away?
So I like typed it in a Word document. I'm like different for each person. And I did my list, and I went through like my cross country teammates from high school and college. I had some kind of something in common, I felt like, and just like tweaked it for each person.
Okay.
So yeah, and I used like the PB&J format kind of, I guess.
So
Yeah.
did you go through and like do the likes of their pictures and the comments and all of that?
Some, like, I've been following them anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm going to show you a little bit later what I've been doing. It's still the PB&J. It's just well, it is still the PB&J, just a little bit of a different tactic that's been really, really, it's been so much less pressure, like so much less like, oh my God, I have to send out an invite. And I think it could be good for those of us who might be feeling overwhelmed with like putting those invites out, because they can be overwhelming and they can feel weird and they can like give us anxiety, but I don't think that they have to. And I think we can kind of have a little bit more fun with it. And so I've been watching a ton of trainings to try to come up with something that I feel like we can all do without feeling salesy and just icky. So I will show you guys that later. And I'm actually really excited about it. So first things first, I want to basically tomorrow, if going on schedule, would be our sneak peek, our coach like glimpse into our girl game, which I'm going to run. Well, I guess I should ask you guys first because I dropped the ball on putting it up on our team page just because I just forgot. I just plain forgot. So if we still want to do it, to give us time to invite to it, I can push it to next week. If you guys want to, invite to the coach opportunity and have people in that group. And that way it'll give us a week to kind of just talk about coaching. We can put the link to the group there so they can just press it themselves instead of feeling weird about inviting individually, because sometimes that can be a little more than we want to be doing, especially if we've already invited them. So if they just have a link to click on, which is how I got most of my people from the last one, I think that that's easier. So do you guys want to, do you want to push it back a week? Would that be easier if you guys want to invite to it?
I don't know anything about this. That would be great with me.
So it's just like basically the coach sneak peeks, or the glimpse, I'm calling it the glimpse into our girl gang, is I'm going to be going over some topics about coaching, what we do as a coach, how we earn money, the common objections, how to get started, kind of like what we are and what our like mission is. And so it's just a way, it's going to be 3 days. I'm going to do 1 live video a day. So it's not crazy, like nobody's committing to anything. It's just purely informational. And then they can ask questions along the way. And I just show little coach highlights and just some random, information about things that have changed my life as a coach. If you guys would like to add things that have changed your life as a coach, you're more than welcome. But really it's just an informational place for people to kind of see what we do, and hopefully target some of the objections that people have about what it is that we do. But it's going to be 3 days, Monday through Wednesday. And then we'll give them the opportunity, obviously, to sign up with our team if that's what they want, the few days after. And it's kind of perfect because then if they want to, they start with a challenge pack just like us. They start in the virtual gym and they get going on Friday and over the weekend. So it's just
So is this, what are they joining? What are we inviting them to join?
Our team.
For the sneak peek. So actually to go in into the virtual gym and see?
No, I have a little group. It's a group.
A separate group.
It's a separate group than the gym, but it's one that I already have the coach sneak peeks in. And so all those same people are still there, and you guys might already have people in them. But yeah, it's just, if people have been interested in the opportunity and they just maybe have questions or aren't quite sure about it, then they can just be in there and gain as much information as we can give them. So that's what that is.
That it was like the detox group that just changes name, or is this entirely separate?
Yep, this is here. Let me share my screen and I'll show you. It's the same one that I guess my last one was last month. It's this one right here. And we've got 26 people in it right now. It looks like, I don't know if you guys are in there, but, and actually I'm going to be getting rid of, I've started getting rid of all of this information today, but it's just coach highlights. And then, like I'll go live about, like I said, the objections and, more coach highlights. Kelsey told her story, but it's purely informational. And I will put that, I'll put that link on the team page. But I feel like it's just a good place if you have anybody or even current challengers who are maybe ready to go coach. Like if you have someone that is in the virtual gym and really doing well, and you think they might make a good coach, or even if they're loving their Shakeology or their performance line and want that discount, that's a good place to plug them in just to kind of see what we're doing. So if you want, I can push it back a week and then you guys can kind of, I think I will anyway, just to kind of give us some time, because I haven't posted about it either because I've just been all over the place trying to figure shit out lately. So would that be cool? And then you guys can decide.
That sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So close to the 28th. January 28th.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. All right. So let's get to Diamond. Let's talk about getting to Diamond. Who's super nervous? I know. Look at you. It's okay. It's so okay, I promise. It's just a benchmark and it just sounds fun, but really it's just the amount of lives that you inspire, what you're doing every single day anyway. It's really not doing anything different than you're doing in the virtual gym. You're just doing it a little more publicly. So first, the whole thing I think is mindset with getting to Diamond or any benchmark, getting to Emerald first and then to Diamond. And I'll show you the Diamond model. But honestly, I think if you believe that you're already there when you talk to people, I think that plays a big role in the conversation and how the direction the conversation goes. Because if you message somebody and you're like, I don't know what to say, and this is so uncomfortable, which we all do, I still do, then the conversation's probably going to keep going in that direction, and they're probably not going to join you. But if you go into it and you like take a moment and you step back and you just kind of go, okay, I am already a Diamond coach. I've already done this, or I'm already a superstar coach, which is what I put myself at, even though I'm not that. But in my brain, I am when I'm talking to people. I'm not lying about, not telling them things that I have that I don't have. I'm not giving myself accolades. Like I'm not saying I'm a superstar coach. But if you just kind of put yourself into that mentality and you take a step back and you're like, okay, well, if I was there, how would that person answer these objections? Or how would that person answer whatever, how would you continue that conversation if you're already that kind of coach? Well, then it's probably going to go into that direction. And I think you're going to kind of see a better outcome. For me, when I stopped kind of putting myself in that super scared mindset, even though I was, and I said, you know what? All of those coaches that are doing all these things are no different than I am. Absolutely no different. They all started in the same exact place I did. They all started with them and then one coach underneath them and kept building. I was like, it can't be that. Like, what's the big deal? The worst they're going to tell me is no. But what if they tell me yes? I was like, okay, well, then I'm going to keep that mindset of what if they tell me yes? What if they tell me yes? And I noticed that people started to respond to me differently because I was responding to them with a more positive attitude. I feel like I had more direction, even though I didn't know what the hell I was doing, and I still had to call my upline coaches for help. I had that mindset of just like, I can do this. Like that is already who I am. And so it changed. It changed how, and then I started to get so much more confidence. So I really truly think it's like with anything. It's like getting through those damn Transform 20 workouts. If you put your mindset there, like only 20 minutes, the hardest 20 minutes of my life, but it's only 20 minutes. So if I can get through that, I'm pretty badass. It's the same thing with having conversations and with talking to people. You just have to put yourself in a different mindset. So if you focus like wholeheartedly on your goals and why you want to get to that rank, maybe you don't know. So that's something that we need to figure out. Hi. But if you
you prep my food, isn't that amazing?
what? You want to come prep mine? Because I haven't done it yet. But if you put yourself and you focus so hard on what your goals are and that nothing and nobody is going to stop you from getting there, I truly think that that's what's going to happen. It's like that quote that I said the other day. Whether you say you can or you say that you can't, you're right. So if we all sit here and we're like, you know what? I can't do it. Like this is what I said to myself last year, which is why I truly believe I didn't reach the goals that I wanted to, because I told myself I can't. I said it time and time again. I'm like, you can't get there. You can't do those things that those coaches are doing. And I didn't. But this year saying I can do those things. I may not know what the hell I'm doing or how to get there, but I can do it. And so I truly believe that that's, if we just keep going in that direction with that mindset, we can. So we just need to come up with what our goals are, why it's important for us to reach those benchmarks, and we're going to do it. Okay, I promise. So I do want to show you guys the diamond model, and I'm just going to share my screen here. And let me click out of here. I started so many conversations today that I'm a little overwhelmed with my inbox. Come on. All right. Anyway, here it is. Can you guys see that? So this is what a diamond coach looks like, and it's pretty simple. This is you. Well, we'll just pretend this is you right here. A diamond coach basically has 8 coaches underneath them, all active, which means they have to be 90 PV or more. Well, I guess it's 50, but it'll get to 90 as you become diamond. So this is your left leg. This is your right leg. To be a diamond, you have to get 1 coach on each leg to become emerald. So that's this person's 2 coaches, which make that person emerald. And this coach, same on the left, their 2 coaches, which makes that coach emerald. And each of these are your 2 personally sponsored coaches. And then below that, you have to have 3 additional personally sponsored active coaches on each leg. Does that make sense? Yeah.
No, I'm a little confused once you get down to the first coach is on each side.
So
there's, okay, so the second line, there's 2 coaches on each.
Right. These 2 are not.
Right, and then.
Actually, let's do it this way. Here's me.
Okay.
This is Kate right here. And this is Mary Beth right here. So you 2 are each my personally sponsored coaches. And then Kate has her husband right here and whoever your other coach is right here. So that makes Kate an emerald coach. Mary Beth, you're here. When you get your 2 coaches, that would make you emerald. And then, and you'll see it in your downline. It'll be separated by color, so you'll know who's your personally sponsored and who's not. So then we go down here. This will be Bethany, who's one of my personally sponsored coaches, Nina and Liza. And then over here will be, Elise, Ashley, and Allie. So they are also my personally sponsored coaches that are also active. Does that make sense?
Okay.
No.
So they don't have to be, those bottom ones don't have to be emerald?
They do not have to be emerald. To get to diamond,
It's just the top ones.
Yeah, and they don't even have to be on the top. They can be anywhere in your downline. You just need 1 emerald on your left and 1 emerald on your right. Okay. And then 3 additional coaches. So 8 coaches altogether to become diamond. Okay. So that's the diamond business model. And I just added this file to to the Fearless page, to our team page. So you guys can download that if you want. And then just fill it out as you go along. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is I have tracker sheets on our team page that I find super helpful. You can do it by the day or by the week. And I was doing it by the week. But what I recently did, because Beachbody just released this new tracking system, and I like that it was broken down by each day. And I like that it really targets like your why and who you're trying to talk to. So let me unshare this for a second. I actually got this printed at Staples for like $5. I did 52 of them for 52 weeks of the year. And the way that it's broken down, and let me go back, the way that it's broken down is super easy. And I think it kind of takes pressure off. It's the little things like be proof that the products work. Did you work out today? And did you drink your Shakeology or your Performance Line today? That's what these two are. And it breaks it down from Thursday to Wednesday, which is how our pay periods work. So I really like that. Did you listen to the National Wake Up Call? Were you on the team call? And then here, invite connections and add followers. And it breaks it down by time. So spend 20 minutes initiating connections like your PB&Js. Do a social media post that showcases the benefits of your healthy lifestyle or has a call to action. So spend 10 minutes on, your posting, and then updating your Instagram and your Facebook story throughout the day. And again, daily life, workout clips, product use, no brand name shown, healthy meal or meal prep, invitation, promote group, poll, call to action, recognition, shout out. I love that because that's exactly what we should be posting every single day. And then another 25 minutes responding to all of your new likes, comments, or your views, and then spending 15 minutes inviting. It says at least 5 people. I say 10, but that's just me. So to join a challenge group or learn about coaching, and then another 15 minutes to follow up with the people you've invited. So that's 30, 40, so about an hour a day. But it's broken down so you can do it at any time during the day. Like if you have 20 minutes in the morning, do this part. And then if you have 10 minutes during the day, do this part. One thing that I do with like my stories is it looks like I'm on social media all day long. I'm not at all. I stockpile my pictures. I stockpile my videos. I do my workouts in the morning and I take my little videos. I don't even get around to posting those until I'm sitting in the pickup line at my daughter's school at 2:00. And that's when I post everything because I've got 20 minutes to just sit there. So you don't have to be on your phone. Actually, I hope you're not on your phone all day long. So what I love about this is if you want to break it down, you can say, okay, 10 minutes, do this, put your phone down, live your life. Do this, 3 minutes, put your phone down, live your life. Another 25 minutes, put your phone down, live your life. Like really make sure that you take the time to do the things that you want to do, to be with the people that you want to be with, because that's what's really important. Or if you just want to take an hour at the end of the day, then do all this in an hour. I always take an hour at the end of the day just because. But this is a really nice way to break it down, and you can keep track of it on a daily basis. And then getting the people your results, contribute to your challenge group, which every single one of you guys do. Recognize your challengers' achievements, respond to questions from customers and coaches. Like that doesn't take long at all. And then doing your personal development for at least 10 to 15 minutes. I do mine in the shower. I listen to everything on Audible. I'm in the shower for at the very least 10 minutes if I'm not washing my hair and shaving everything. So I at least get my, my 10 minutes in every day. And then your weekly business results, number of new followers, new challengers, new coaches, and Success Club points this week and this month. And then it also has this list. So I have mine printed front to back. All the names, when you contacted them, the notes, and if you followed up. I am not really using this because I use Google Streaks to keep track of my people. But this is also a really good way, like maybe if you want to use this to make your list, or if you are a pen and paper person, this is a really great tool. So if something like this works for you, I literally uploaded this, sent it to Staples, and I picked it up like 2 hours later it was less than $6. It was just 52 pages. I had them printed front and back, and then I had them bind it, and that's it. So I'm trying this system out to kind of see how it works, because I do like pen and paper better for some things, and I think this is one of them. But it's up to you. If any of the other trackers or other systems work better for you, then, you know, obviously use what works better for you guys. But I think it's a pretty good one. So do you guys have any questions about that? No? Okay.
No.
We're going to watch a little bit. Do you guys know who Lindsay Matway is? She is, she's a top 10 coach. She was the top coach for a few years before Melanie Mitro took over. I've done a couple groups with her, and she's super, super down to earth. And she's also a multi-7-figure earner. And I know that that's not what any of you guys are looking for right now. The only reason I tell you that is because she's a really amazing businesswoman, but she's also really into, you do things your way, you do things that work for you. I have suggestions. She's just really cool to listen to. So she has a video on strategy of getting to diamond, and I'm not going to have us watch the whole thing, but just the last part. So here she is, and it's just about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and play that. Can you guys see that? Yeah?
Yep.
Talk about the actual
Can you hear that?
strategy to get to diamond, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. One of the ways that I was able to build a diamond pretty quickly as a new coach was signing up my spouse on one leg and a family member, which was happened to be my brother, on the other leg. Now, these are two accounts that I control. I paid for them. And by the way, I didn't have money, so that wasn't an excuse. I literally took every sale from my Shakeology and customer sales and put them into paying for those accounts, because it was a priority to me. I knew that this business was all about me showing people that I was serious, that I was moving forward. And to be honest with you guys, the outside perception of a diamond coach equals a leader. Diamond, let's just face it sounds sexy. So I knew if I could get myself to diamond as quickly as possible, I would show people that I was moving. I was a game changer. I was on a roll. And so that was my focus. And when I covered those accounts, basically what I did is I took people who were going to be discount coaches or who were going to dabble in the business, and they became personally sponsored coaches of my husband or of my brother to make them feel coaches. It helped me very quickly get to diamond. And the reason why I suggest doing that is when my coaches come in, and fresh coaches, obviously we get them focused on building for a challenge. And they might have a husband that can sign up as a coach, but more than likely, it's going to be hard for you to quickly find 2 Emerald coaches and happen to have them fall on one side and one on the other. So what I like to do is I like to be as in control of my destiny as possible, and having my spouse and having my brother helped me to do that and to do it quickly. So now just a quick note, being able to forecast how that can work out for you. My husband, because of the way I built him, because I built him early on and placed him high in my business, he now makes over $100,000 a year because of the business that I helped build underneath him. So he doesn't actively enroll coaches. I personally sponsor those coaches underneath him, but I treat them as my own personally sponsored coaches. So it's not like I leave them in the dust. These are still people I work with on a one-on-one basis. So me helping build my husband in the long term, even though it took that short-term sacrifice to cover the cost, it was such a huge payoff. And trust me, he thanks me today. Now, let's just say you don't have a husband, a boyfriend, or a family member willing to sign up. Don't stress it. It's not the only way to build. It's just something that I wanted to throw out there as a suggestion to some of you because of the way that it's been helpful in building my business and since helping my family create more income via the volume that our business creates. So leading into the next phase of finding coaches, you will have a mix of business builders and discount coaches at all times. So don't be totally against discount coaches. One, you offer them a savings. You're offering them $16 a month savings if they sell nothing. So you are helping them out. And they can help you out because having those people in your business not only creates team volume, but it does build your rank. And you never know, someone can get in this business as a discount coach and then eventually get the itch and realize, oh my gosh, I'm sitting on a gold mine. Many a top coach has started as a discount coach. So I'm always open to the idea of offering the discount coach opportunity. As long as you're not treating them like a business builder, trying to throw information at them and get on one-on-one calls, it's a-okay to have both in your business. To wrap things up, I wanted to talk about incentivizing. Sometimes we get so caught up with our own goals that we try to project those goals onto other people. One of the things that I have found is that people aren't all that motivated by my goals. They're more motivated when there's something in it for them. And obviously, we want the something in it for them to build a business, hopefully. But there's also a little fun thing called incentives. And that can be anything as small as maybe a team shirt, or even putting out there that you're going to do some one-on-one training with whoever are your first emeralds. It could be a $50 Visa gift card for date night or whatever. Just some fun, easy things to create competition amongst your coaches to help them to have that extra drive, extra push to be able to reach a goal. I use incentives all the time, and some of them are so small and insignificant that you wouldn't think it would drive people, but people have that competitive spirit. And people like winning stuff. So anytime that you have a time deadline, like something like this master series, it's definitely a great idea to throw out something, some little carrot to dangle in front of your coaches to help them have that drive, to push out outside their comfort zone and really make things happen. You guys have so many incredible things ahead of you. I hope that you will take this opportunity over the next few weeks and really dive in deep, get bold, and go outside your comfort zone. Amazing things lie on the other side of these 3 weeks, and I am so pumped to see those who capitalize on this opportunity. Thank you all for taking so much time to listen to this video and go out there and make things happen. I believe in you, and I think you're incredible.
So, sorry, let me try to stop sharing here. So that's what I'm doing with my husband. I kind of left him. I signed him up very, very early. So he is at the top of my business model. But I did nothing with him. The only reason I signed him up originally was to get to Emerald. So I kept him active for a while, and then I started, gaining more and more coaches, and I didn't need him to be active anymore. And so I kind of left him. And then I was having a meeting, and actually it's the group she was talking about that I was in. And I was talking to another coach, and they're like, well, do you have your spouse signed up? And I was like, I've had him signed up almost since day one. And they're like, oh, well, what rank is he? And I was like, nothing. Like, he's not even active. And they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, I don't really need him to be active. And they're like, Lindsay, like, that's a whole other business that you could be running. And it's aiding to your volume. And I was already a 1-star. So I was like, well, I could get my 2-star that way. And as a 2-star, you then enter a huge bonus pool. Plus you get to open another business center. And I was like, oh shit. So I got my husband active. I finally just signed up his first coach, who isn't my personally sponsored, but like Lindsay Matway was saying, she treats her like her personally sponsored coach. And my goal is to get him to Diamond because it's like that double dipping. It's that extra income, which is great on the financial side. But also to kind of aid in the financial aspects, it gets that volume. So my paychecks have been higher because now I have extra volume on the side that I need from him. So it's all sort of working together. He's getting paychecks, I'm getting paychecks, and his volume is giving me bigger team cycle bonuses. So I wish that I had done this earlier on. I didn't really have the guidance earlier on. My coach sort of, she didn't quit, but she stopped working the business. So I didn't have her to guide me, and I just kind of started learning things on my own. So it is a really good idea if you have that person that you can sign up and start to build. I tried to get my sister and I tried to get my brother. They both said no. So that's okay. But if you have that opportunity to do that, it's a really good idea to start doing, because like she said, that's then 2 businesses that you have control over. So once I get him to Emerald, because especially early on, you can go in and out of Diamond very quickly because people can lose their emeralds very quickly. But if you have control over one of them and yourself, then you know that those 2 are solid businesses. So the likelihood of kind of losing your rank is less. So does anyone have questions about anything that she said? Did anything stick out to you? Did anything?
I just never thought about that.
Yeah, I don't think any of it. I mean, you don't until somebody says it. Because she's right. Like you don't know who's going to actually want, to build. And especially and I think one of the things with our team is like, we're so motivated by our tribe that we have and, the community that we have, I think over like the financial aspect, because I think the sort of the mindset and how we're feeling internally takes over for us. I mean, and I could just be speaking for myself. So my business sense was never really there. And I wasn't smart about it because that wasn't what was really important to me. And it's definitely not the forefront of what I want, but it's definitely like knowing now the possibilities of what those finances can do for my family. Like my husband just got in a car accident last night and now we have no second vehicle. We're sitting there going, shit, that car was completely paid off. And now thankfully he just got a raise. And we're like, oh man, now we're going to have a second car payment. And I'm like, well, that means I'm just going to have to work a little harder. So it's not going to affect us anyway. So I feel like instead of, looking at it like I just want to make a lot of money, as long as there's heart and what is that actually going to do for you and your family, then I think it kind of puts it in a new light. So really all that any of this means is just really sharing you. And I know that we say that all the time, but really talking about the coaching, and not so much, it doesn't have to be like this big, bold post about coaching every single time, but just kind of weaving in those little things that that this business or the challenge group or your mindset or your confidence, because all of that has been given to you. Well, it hasn't been given to you. It's allowed you to gain all of that, I think, through this coaching experience. So is there one thing that any of you could say about what this has done for you so far? Like what it means to you to have kind of that funny title of coach? Because I still think it's a funny title and I really don't like to use it, but I don't know what else to say.
I think for me, I just take it more seriously because I've always worked out. That's always been something that I've been, I guess, self-motivated to do, and people have told me like, I don't have your motivation to work out, but I wasn't necessarily getting results because I wasn't doing all of the other things. Mm-hmm. So I feel like since I've been a coach, I take it more seriously, so I hold myself a little more accountable. Mm-hmm. And I'm more inclined, I think, to share my actual experience. Like I think prior to this, I didn't really want to talk about it very much. I didn't actually like it when people were like, oh, sorry, stepchildren. People are like, oh, you look like you've lost weight. I'm like, oh yeah, well, yeah, maybe. I didn't want to really be seen in that way. So I feel like since becoming a coach, I don't know, it's allowed me to be more real with, I'm not the only person going through this sort of thing, like with weight fluctuations or trying to figure it out and balance life. And, oh yeah, I gained weight. And I can lose it again. But I think also with all the focus on personal development, it's nice to share that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I
So
agree.
it's just, I don't know, giving me more of a voice and an acceptance of being human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what would be good is maybe to write down 5 of those things, and they'll probably change. But if you start with writing down 5 of those things that you just said about what this has done for you, and then incorporate those into your posts, and I think you do a really good job of that anyway. And I love that you are very versatile, I think, with your posting. Like, it's not just health and fitness. I didn't get to read the one today, but I saw with the little berry sticking through the snow, and I'm like,
oh yeah, I have, yeah.
It was so pretty. I was like, oh, what is that? But then
yeah, it was pretty. Yeah.
my daughter got me. I didn't get to read it, but
yeah, sure. No, I have so many, like, I feel like I have so many different things going on that I'm still trying to figure out, like, who I'm showing up as. I mean, I'm showing up as me, but I also have, and I talked to you a little bit about this, but I'm coming from I'm a therapist.
Yeah.
And when you train to be a therapist, they're like, don't say anything about yourself. They're not, you're like, people aren't supposed to know about you. Don't tell them about your family. So it's this weird dynamic, but I think this is also allowing me to kind of push out and be like, no, like, I get to do what I want to do. And it's not, I'm just showing up more real.
yeah.
So a little different of a navigation, but I feel like being a coach is, I don't know, it's opened up my mind a little bit more. But I like the idea of actually looking at writing it down.
Yeah.
Because I actually finished that video. I don't know if you guys watched the video about IG stories.
Which
you
one?
had posted. You sent it in Messenger. I'm not sure who's on that thread. It was the
Jatana.
Yeah. But just thinking, something just
stories.
Yeah, but it was like just how concise and getting really clear on what we're sharing. Because sometimes I feel like it's just so big, and then you get into that head trip of like, I don't know, why do people even want to? Do people care about what I'm doing every day? You know?
Because they do.
They do.
I recently started changing up. I'm always looking for new ways to like connect with people, and so one of my new messages, like if somebody like likes or comments on a post, I send them. I love that you support my post or whatever. I said, what is that? I say something like, what is it that drew you to it, or something like that. And I wish I could find exactly what I say, but, and it's interesting to see people's responses, because they're like, oh my gosh, I always follow your stories and I love how real you are with your kids. Like, I love that you yell at your kids too. And I was like, oh man, whoops, but then I'm like, she must yell at her kids too. Like, we related on this stupid, crazy level about disciplining my children. And then she, just started following. So it's, I don't know. I feel like people do like to see that you have a real life and that you are a real person, and that it's not just all a highlight reel, because I mean, it's easy to put out the highlight reel because we don't want to get real with people. But yeah, I think if you kind of make that plan every single day along with your post, the same thing, if you write down, 5 of those things that have really shaped you as a coach, and then focus on each of those every day, like one a day.
Well, I think that took some pressure off too. That's what struck me it was towards the end of that training. What's her name? Jatana Jackson, where she said, keep it to 5 things. She had said something like, people don't want to see my crocheting. Not to say that crocheting is bad, but if that's a big thing you do, then share it. But it was like, oh, I can just choose what I'm sharing. Because sometimes I'm like, I don't know what to say. So I feel like having the focus smaller And just making that decision just takes so much pressure off, and just saying, well, this is what I'm going to share. Fits in a little box, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is a business, right? So we have to kind of treat it as though she's right. People don't want to just see crocheting. I mean, maybe, no, but you know, they want to see that you are who you say you are, and you are doing the things that you're asking them to do. In her stories, every day without fail, you always see her reaching on top of her refrigerator, and she gets her, because I follow her stories a lot. She always reaches up and she gets her little metal basket with all of her Shakeology stuff in there, and she does her little dance because she's this big. She's a beauty pageant girl, and she loves country music, and she shakes her perfect little butt, and she makes her shake every morning without fail. You know that's what she's going to do, and then she mixes up what she calls her mom crack, her energized. And she shakes that shit up, and then she goes downstairs in her really cute little gym with the great lighting, and she does her workout and dances through half of it. But that's what people love about her. That same person is not going to come to me because I'm not shaking my butt to country music. But but it's like the same things you'll see repeatedly over and over and over, and then other parts of her life are weaved in. But it's those very core things. She's very precise about it. She has a plan every day. So I think that's something we could all work on, because I struggle with that myself. So, what about you, Kate?
I just struggle posting every day. I don't know what to post.
Yeah.
Because I never posted every day before, so it's hard.
It can be hard. But again, to take the pressure off, I would do the same thing. Write down 5. And it doesn't always have to be about coaching, but write down 5 things that you love, that make up you. Your girls in gymnastics, I see all the time. So that could be one, because you're proud and you're a proud mama. But I would write down 5 things that make up who you are, that you can kind of weave into a post every day. It doesn't have to be you can have that 1 or 2 posts a week that are call to actions, big, bold posts. But then you can be your other ones, I don't know, talking about how, well, for me, I'll just put it for me, going to my son's basketball game the other day. I hate going to stuff. I don't hate going to stuff like that. I hate having to talk to the other parents, because I'm so uncomfortable. And so I always want to sit in my little bubble all by myself and not talk to anybody else, because I don't want to. And I've posted about stuff like that before, and it's amazing how many people relate to that. So it doesn't have to be just about coaching or Beachbody or working out. Incorporate those other aspects of who you are too. And they can just be 1 or 2 little sentences. They don't have to be big and elaborate, but just get into the habit of posting every day. It gets easier.
Okay.
It really does. But yeah, start with just writing down 5 things that make up who you are, that are really important to you, that you could talk about every day. It will get easier. What about you, Bethany?
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing. I feel like I'm inconsistent with, I'll have a busy day or 3, and then it gets away from me. And I feel like the weeks that I have more fun on social media are the more productive weeks for me, in terms of people that I can connect with, but it's just hard getting there. I feel like it's, I don't want every post to be about a before and after.
Right.
So I feel like it's hard for me to find the balance.
Yeah.
Between what to post.
Even though your before and afters are incredible. I would do a before and after once a week for sure. Sunday nights are a really good night for before and afters. Really good night for them. But maybe for you, maybe planning out your week on Sunday. Next week, we can focus on, we'll do the coach sneak peek that following Monday. So talk about things about your coaching journey, about your journey to self-love. And I know that you've already posted about that. But, if you plan out your weeks on Sundays, or even planning out your next day as you're laying in bed, just okay, tomorrow I'll focus on X, Y, and Z, and then just kind of go there. Maybe that'll take the pressure off of, oh my gosh, I have to post today. just kind of set yourself up the night before.
Yeah, I think I have good intentions. Like I've made lists and I have, on my notes and my phone, and I'm like ready to check things off, but I realistically don't get there half the time.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to streamline it somehow and make it more attainable.
So one thing that helps, and this sounds really silly and you can laugh, it's okay, is to kind of, if you're having a good day, like for me, like my hair's on point and like things are looking pretty good, I might take a couple pictures and just change my outfits because then I don't have to worry.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if I'm having a day with my kids where I'm like, we're just having a really good day, I'll be like, guys, come here. And I'll like take a couple pictures and I won't use them for maybe months or weeks, but at least I have them. And then I just need to create that story. And, I know it sounds kind of silly, but at least it helps take that pressure off because you're like, all right, I've already got some things kind of saved and ready to go. And now I just need to type up a little something.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I just did today, actually. The post I had today with the berries in the snow was from like 2 months ago. And I was like, what a beautiful picture. I'll use that someday, but I can't deal with that right now.
Yeah.
And then today I was like, I don't know what to post. I'm not feeling motivating. I'm not feeling like I was like, oh, just stop thinking about it and just post about a snow day. And I was like, oh, I have that picture. Yeah. And it did took a lot of pressure off. And I was like, okay, other people probably had a snow day today, and at least it keeps me in their feed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you know what? You don't always have to be motivating. It's okay to say that. It's okay to say
No, but I mean, like at the time, when I took the picture, I was like, one day this will be great.
Just not right now.
But I'm not doing it right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
so I see things a little more. Yeah. Like take a picture of that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you guys have anything left? I'm going to really quickly go through Instagram because I think this is, well, it's the way of Instagram's definitely where it's all at. Facebook is really good for your warm market, but Instagram is really amazing for your cold market. So do you guys have anything else before we go there really quickly? Because I don't want to take up too much more of your time. No? Okay. I can't do that because I'm recording. Hang on here. I have so many windows open. Oh, shoot. I'm not sharing, am I? Zoom, share. Crap, I feel like I'm coming down with something.
Drink your tea.
It did, it's gone.
Crap.
I need to drink tea too. I feel like Instagram, I love Instagram, and then I think I'm on a roll and I have like 41 followers. I don't know how to
I don't know how to get followers either. I've got like 60, I think.
Kate, what is your handle? Because I don't know if I'm following you right now, and I need to be.
KSA Baker.
Okay, I'll look you up after this, and I'll make sure I'm following you.
All right.
I've steadily been building, and then I can't get past. I lose a few and gain a few, and lose a few.
That's how it is. Honestly, I use a virtual assistant for this, for Instagram. I was using Stim Social and I stopped because I was not getting, I was getting tons of followers, but I wasn't getting the followers I wanted. And I took a month off and tried to do things myself, which is how I found the system I'm going to show you guys. But I just started using another one and I have gained, even though it looks like I have a lot of followers and I do, a lot of them are from the other platform that wasn't working for me. So this new one is building it slower, but they're people that I can actually relate to. It's crazy. And I will share that with you guys another time. I don't think it's necessary for everybody right now. So what I would do, and I know that I've kind of talked about this a little bit. Oh, I lost my thingy. Hold on. Is I spend my Sunday nights going through Instagram. And what I do, for me personally, I go to mom bloggers or I like a lot of rustic modern decor, house decor. So I'll kind of go through there and I'll look for people big accounts that I love. So this one, let me see, I'll just go to because this is one that I love, Vintage Farmhouse. So you can tell she has 333,000 followers. So this is a perfect account to look at. So what I do is I go through and I'm like, do I like her style? Do I like what I see? Does she have kids? Yes, she does. And I know, Bethany, it would be something different for you as far because you don't have kids, but go find a big account. And again, like this is something where when you're writing down your 5 things about yourself, that's what you want to search on Instagram too. And just find a big account. And I go through and like I said, I love this. And I also see that she's got a ton of comments and a ton of likes, which means a lot of people follow her. So this one, I'll click on this picture and I follow her just so that I have easy access to her all the time. But what I do here is I go through her comments and I look at like, what people are saying to her, and do any of these people, if I can tell that they might not be a blogger, like Dreaming of Homemaking, she's probably a blogger herself. But then I'll click on this person, be like, oh, she's private, so that's not a good example. But I'll just go through. Is that the one I just did? No. Okay, so here's somebody. So I look here. Now this person is clearly a dog person, but they have pretty decent photos. She only has 511 followers. Now, this is not somebody I personally would follow because I really target who I follow. I can't relate to dogs. I have a child that's allergic who wants a dog badly, but we can't have one right now. So this isn't somebody, although it depends. Like if she had kids on here, then I'd probably follow her, but I don't see children. She does love Ed Sheeran though. Ooh, and so do I. So maybe I would, but there is a kid. See, so maybe I could follow her. But anyway, I would look and see, are these photos that speak to me? Because sometimes they just don't. Like you can just kind of tell by somebody's pictures that they're not your type of person. But I love all of these little things. I love that clock. Like I could talk to her about something. So what I would do is, here's where the PBJ comes in. I would follow her and then I would come and where's that clock picture? I would like this picture and comment on it. I'd probably ask her where she got the clock. I would scroll down here and probably comment on one of these because I freaking love Ed Sheeran. And then I'd comment here, I would say something about the child, only if it really spoke to me though. And then I would go and I would like 3 of these other pictures. And then what I would do after I've done that is I would come up and I would message her and I would say, oh my God, that clock in that one picture is freaking amazing. Like, where did you get it? And that's it. And then we would literally talk about that clock probably or home decor or something for a couple times. And I would probably message back and forth. I don't know, until the time feels right. I feel like you kind of know. And then I would send my first part of that PB&J message, which, well, I've already done the first part, which is the commenting or the message itself, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Complimenting on a picture. But then I would say, I hope I'm not being too forward. And whatever my message is that I say to people, where is it? I hope I'm not being too forward, but I couldn't help but notice that you're also a positive person. I kind of switched that up a little bit. I'm always looking for positive, upbeat women to join my team. Have you ever considered being a virtual coach like I am? And then I end it with, if not, no worries. I just thought I'd mention it since I never know who could benefit from this like I have. I hope we can continue to support each other. And I kind of switch it up. Like this is just the very first one I ever did. But that's what I do over and over. And I'll do at least 5 of those. So it takes a little bit of time. But what I've found is that these are people who speak to me somehow. And they're real people. Like, look at that cute little family. And so there's tons of normal people that are just like you that follow these accounts. And once you follow them, then they're going to follow you back, and then you're going to start those conversations. So it's not always about having a huge mass following, but it's about finding the right people. So again, let's click on this one. Oh, I think I follow this girl. She looks familiar. Nope, I don't. And I'm not super crazy about her picture. She also, and this could be judging, looks a little out of my age range that I like to talk to. Like that could be her granddaughter. I don't know. That sounds really mean, but I'm just being honest. But this is how I go through, because I want to make sure that I can relate to the people that I want to bring on my team eventually. And as should you guys. You should be picky about who you're bringing on, because these are people that you're gonna be around for a while. I hate it when their accounts are private, but this is how I go by, and I have found so many. Nope, she's too old and she's from Germany. I have found so many people through doing it this way. Does that look like something that you could do and not feel like I feel like it's less pressure than just this little wandering. That's another one I wanted to show you guys. I feel like it's a little less pressure than just going right in for the invite. Do you feel like that this would be easier?
I feel like it helps almost when you don't know the person.
Oh my God, wholeheartedly.
You know, if you take it less personally.
Yeah, exactly. But like this account, I'm in love with this account. I've been following it for a long time. I love her pictures. I love everything that she puts on her children. And I just want, like, I would want her life. And I found a lot of my people through this account. So, you know, again, I just go here, I look through her comments, and I just play around and just start clicking on people and seeing, oh, and seeing like already I'm like, yep, I love this girl. I don't know anything, you know, I love her. She's got a bit of a decent following. But she's a mom, she's a wife. I get a lot of Jesus people. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just not my thing. So I have to be careful with that because I swear a lot and I don't want to offend anybody. But again, I would have a field day with this account. Like, look at how stinking cute her kids are. Her pictures are beautiful. Like, I could comment on every single one of these. So what I would do again is just go through. I'd look at them. I'd probably comment on this and be like, I don't know, even though it says the photographer here, I might ask who the photographer is. I don't know. Here I could talk about like, where is this? I love asking people where certain things are because sometimes they're closer than I think. And also it's a cool way to find out like where I want to travel. But I could comment on every single one of these pictures and I would have no problem. Oh my God, look at that. I would have no problem sending her a message like, I can't even handle how cute your kids are, and leave it at that. And then that would organically start a conversation. I don't feel icky about messaging her because I can relate to what I'm seeing. So that's what I urge you guys to do. Like, really go and try to find, you know, if you have a certain kind of dog, and I know I say it all the time, if you have a certain kind of dog, look up those dogs. There are some people that are like, I mean, that is their kids. And so they're very, I can't think of the word. They're passionate about their animals. And if you can relate to that, then those are the types of people you want to follow. Or if there's a certain type of, I don't know, is there like a cute boutique dog clothing thing? I bet there is. Like, I bet you could have a field day with like a big account with that. And then looking through their posts. Or, you know, if you love coffee, certain types of coffee, just anything that speaks to you, go find those accounts that have huge numbers. I mean, that's a lot of followers. And just kind of scroll through this picture, scroll through and look at their followers, because those are going to be your people. Like, this person will never join your team. I mean, I shouldn't say never, but probably not, because clearly she's got her own thing going. But the people who look to her every day, those are the type of people that speak to me. So I would say it's going to take a while. Especially your first time. But what I did was I have a note section on my phone, and these are my 12, I made a list of 12 big accounts to follow. So I have them on here, and every Sunday I'll go and I'll look like this one, the Overwhelmed Mommy. I love that account because I'm a completely overwhelmed mommy. So I go to their account, I'll go through their pictures, and that's how I've been finding my people. And I'm having more conversations, true, real conversations, because I can relate to them. And I feel like, again, it doesn't feel so icky because you're starting true conversations with them about things that you relate to on their page. And that's what you really want. And because I don't like the cold invites. I've done them. I don't like them. So it's going to take a little bit longer. Like, you start conversation now and you might not be able to invite them for a week or two, but your list is going to grow. And then in that week or two, and everything that you're doing now is kind of preparing you for the future. So I know that it's late, and I want to end this so that you guys are not on here more than an hour. We're at an hour. But I would urge you to kind of make that list of those 5 things that really speak to you about who you are. And then go find some accounts. And then maybe throughout the week, just, go through them, find a couple people, and start messaging and start like initiating some real conversations with them and see where it goes. I think it'd be kind of cool. Yeah. And the rest will follow. And we still have 10 days that we can get 3 people to join our challenge groups. I'm hopeful. It'll happen. So does anybody have anything before we hop off? Is that a good place to start?
Mm-hmm.
Less overwhelming? Please tell me it's less overwhelming, because I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Okay. Yeah, just have fun with it. Go find your people. It's kind of cool. Plus, I now want to spend ridiculous amounts of money on kids' clothing and housing decor. So there's that too. All right, you guys. Well, if you don't have anything else, thank you for hopping on here for this hour. And I'm going to go through my accounts right now and go start some conversations. My goal is 20 for tonight.
Oh.
I know. I'm crazy, but my goals are big, so I have to do a little bit of work. All right, you guys.
All right.
We'll see you all bright and early tomorrow morning.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.